Okay, so here's the deal. I actually already filmed my video, edited it, and decided there are some things missing. So real quick, before I get started here, I wanted to give a shot of this banana tree from top to bottom. This whole video is about the Ensete Morelli, the red obsidian banana. I was sitting at the table. I've been studying. I have my board exams. It's my last day of school, and my brain hurts. So I thought doing a quick plant video might kind of soothe my mind a little bit and give me a break from studying and allow things to incubate a little bit. The downside to that is during this video I've been doing things not so great, like saying a lot, and there have been a lot of pauses and not a lot of fun shots. So I just thought I would make a quick explanation for the poor quality and apologize in advance, but hopefully you find the information to be useful. And if there's any questions or anything like that, feel free to put it in the comments below. And okay, so let's get this video started. Hello, gardening friends. I thought I'd do a quick video about my red obsidian bananas. These are one of my favorites as far as the ornamentals go. There's several reasons for that. The main reason is the color. The more sun you give this variety, the more red they get in their foliage. Now, mine doesn't get a ton of sun, not as much as it should, which does render some problems. So it has a lot of green in it, but it still looks quite nice. During the summer, this gets a lot more sun. But with it being fall, the angle of the sun has changed and the leaves are kind of greening out a little bit. And this is the same banana I showed in a video over the summer where the wind actually blew this so hard that the trunk went like this. And I had to stake it back up and chop all the leaves off the top, basically give it a hurricane cut and let it regrow. It has a broken branch here, but I'm leaving it because it's actually shading some orchids. I'm like, you know what, this is okay for now. I overwinter these in my garage, and this is so tall. I would guess this is probably close to 16 to 18 feet tall at this point. I can't find anywhere in my garden that I can stand and show you the whole thing and you still be able to get a representation. So getting it in the garage is an issue because it's in a 30-inch pot that I put onto a dolly, and when you make that lean, it puts too much strain on the trunk at the base of the trunk. So I'm going to be topping the whole trunk off this year to move it, and it'll regrow just fine as long as temperatures stay in the 40s or 50s. This actually should do really well. I've had this for about 4 years, and it grows throughout the winter very slowly, puts out, you know, a couple leaves a month, whereas outdoors during the summer it'll put out a leaf a week. So yeah, this is the big one. It's 3 or 4 years old, hasn't fruited for me yet. I hope that it doesn't. This is the Ensete Morelli, the red obsidian banana. The Ensetes, there's 3 main varieties. There's Ensete Morelli, Ensete ventroscoma, and Ensete glaucum, which is, they call the snow banana. It's supposed to be more hardy. I don't know if that's true or not. This variety is fairly hardy. I've overwintered this outdoors once, and it came back, but not in a viable manner. The whole trunk died down, and then it put up tons of offsets from the ground. They're not really offsets. It's more of an asexual reproduction. I don't really know how to describe it. Bill Burr does a video on how he divides these to get his offsets on plants and things. I think I said his name right. Check that out so you kind of understand what this does, because the Ensetes are non-offsetting monocarpic bananas, meaning that they don't produce the pups like typical bananas do, kind of like these guys. So back here there's an entire wall of these Baju bananas. These are offsetting, so I planted 5 and they multiplied into this, and I have those bananas all over. The Ensete does not do that. It just stays the one single trunk, and then when it flowers, it dies, but it grows so fast that it's really, it's okay. The flowers are so cool. It's kind of worth the death, if you will. So in the anticipation I was having that the one I've had is about 3 or 4 years old and it's going to flower eventually and die, I purchased another one this year. And this guy was in I think it was a 4-inch nursery pot when I got it, and it was maybe 6 to 10 inches tall. And I planted this in July. And it already has about 4 feet of trunk, and it's probably 8 or 9 feet tall as it is. These bananas, one of the really fun, unique features of them is they usually have a shorter, really thick trunk with very long leaves. The leaves are usually much longer than the trunks, and that makes them really cool looking. The more sun you give them, the more prone they're going to be to getting this really thick, beautiful trunk. Mine have been kind of in the shade. You can see this one has had more sun though. I had this, I took it and I just kind of stuck it back in my garden where it would get hit by my sprinklers, so that I just wouldn't really have to worry about it. They really are pretty easy. I mean, pruning them is no big deal. This one's kind of hard to prune because I can't reach the branches. But that's nothing, you know, getting a new set of loppers that extend wouldn't fix. I just haven't had time. But yeah, super easy. I would recommend these to anybody. If you live someplace that's not very warm during the winter, these are, my opinion, the best and the easiest bananas to overwinter by far. Partially because these are good temperate growing bananas. It says online, most things I've read, that in temperate gardens these reach about 10 feet tall, and in the tropics 20. Like I said, mine, it's in a pot though, so I need to subtract that 2.5 feet from it. But mine's probably a good 17 or 18 feet tall, so we'll say 14, 15 feet, I guess. It's a few years old, and I had to completely cut it back because of that bad storm we had that broke the trunk, and it's caused... There's still the damaged leaves that came up that were developing inside the trunk when it split. And that's another thing. These leaves are a little more sturdy than a lot of other bananas. They don't shred quite as easily during storms, which I enjoy. So if you want the look of a banana, but you don't want something that's going to be kind of invasive and overrun things, any one of the Ensetes is a good option. They're all really pretty. The Ventroscoma is more green, but they still have this red vein that runs through the center. And then the Ensete Glaucum is all green. I don't believe it has any red in it at all. And most of the ones I've seen have a more pronounced, suitable base down at the bottom. And they're really pretty. So yeah, there you have it. So, happy gardening, everybody.